All right, guys. Welcome to episode 5 of season 2. I'm Tinashe. This is Ozani, and we are the cheaters. And this is marriage sex. Before we get started, if we can kindly ask you guys to click the subscribe button. Also, like, share, and comment on the video. It absolutely helps with the algorithm and also growing the channel. We are trying to reach as many people as we can, and hopefully on that quest we will be able to help 1 or 2 couples.
We're trying to be famous, guys. That's what we're trying to do.
So today we have what I think is an interesting topic, which I think everyone, when you're about to get married, you start considering, especially if you come from a strict, crazy family, and apparently it's a trigger warning as well.
Apparently it's a trigger warning.
So
it's a sensitive issue. Do you know what a trigger warning is?
I don't know.
It's a sensitive issue. And there are people that are actually going through life with this issue.
So what are we talking about? So people know, what are we talking about?
So today we are talking about what happens if your family does not like your spouse.
Yes.
Or your family is not accepted by your spouse. And that's why I'm saying we're going to issue a trigger warning, because there are people who are experiencing this to the max. So, if you think you're really struggling deeply to the point of like, I can't cope, this gets me anxious, this gets me depressed, this is your trigger warning to skip to the next video or the last video if you haven't watched it.
Anyway, like Ozani said, what we're exploring is, should your family like the person that you're going to marry?
Or the person you're married to.
Or the person you're married to. Yes, absolutely. Because certain levels of hatred, they don't start right away.
You can come in nicely, huh?
You
Swing
can grow
nicely, and then
you can grow into the throne of being hated. And also, what does that do to the health of your marriage, right? Or your relationship when you are dealing with in-laws or, who don't like your person? How does that work? Or who don't like you as an individual? How does that work, right?
First question, Tinashe. Have you ever had moments where you experienced, maybe a point where you thought your in-laws or my family didn't? I suppose this is just, you're not going to go because maybe they're watching.
I will definitely going in. This is my opportunity.
You don't have to.
I want all of you to know I remember everything.
You don't have to go deeply into specific examples and who, but at the moments where you have felt like perhaps my family didn't like you, not family as a whole, but certain people and stuff. And is there anything that they did that really affected you or affected us?
So generally, I think, obviously I was joking and everything else. Your family is very welcoming. They're very loving. Majority of your family, majority of
there's
your
a
family,
small minority.
No. I think the majority of your family, they are
Bible
reading Christians, right? who definitely believe in God, but also in the power of marriage. So whatever that they can do to support us, they've always done. So I've never felt like I think one of the things that I noticed at an early stage of our relationship was whatever they can do to help our marriage, they would do it. Whether it was taking the kids away, whether it was, hey, we are coming, but we're just going to come with groceries, or, whatever it is, they would do. They don't treat me, and I think one of the things which everyone said from the get-go to me was, you're not a son-in-law, you're a son. So I literally could rock up in any of Wozani's either her parents' house, her auntie's, her uncle's house, and I will be myself, I'll be comfortable. And, I won't be treated as Mkwasha, which also means if there's anything, they don't expect me to pay because I'm a child. I'm not Mkwasha, okay?
Mukwasha means son-in-law, in case you don't understand Silash's native language.
So yeah, what about you? Have you ever felt like my family on the sly don't like you?
No, I've never felt like your family doesn't like me. I always say this, I've been really fortunate enough to marry into a family that prays as well, a family that beholds the sanctity of marriage. And if anything, they have always really supported us in our marriage, in everything that we have done, in every step of the process. Now, having said that, obviously,
I knew it.
in the spirit of Merit Sachs being an authentic podcast, obviously there have been situations as a woman. I bet your experience as a man will be totally different to my experience as a woman. As a woman, I'm the one that goes and joins your family, right? And then there have been culturally, sorry, yeah. There have been instances where maybe me and another family member, I've never argued with anyone, I've never had whatever, but perhaps maybe had a disagreement that where we didn't see eye to eye on things. But having said that, in every single one of those situations, never have I thought this is toxic, never have I thought this is like diabolical. We've always managed to go past it. And I say this to sort of like highlight as well that, yeah, you can marry into good families, you can have people that support you, but as someone that is joining another family, it's not going to be 110% smooth sailing. There are going to be instances maybe where you have a disagreement with someone, or maybe it's not a disagreement, but there are tensions that you then need to navigate.
How did you deal with that argument which you had? With that level of hatred which you had?
No, there will be.
How did you navigate? Because again, these are that's your husband's relatives, right? It could be, because obviously everyone, especially if they are from the opposite family, right? If they're the in-love family, everyone has titles. Even if they're younger than you, it's Tete, it's Babamnini, it's whatnot. How were you able to navigate that and still have that outlook of, okay, this is not toxic. This is just us disagreeing.
I think there's one really key thing I really want to say here, and I hope I do justice to what I'm about to say, because obviously we have the feminist movement and, people that are in the first world, we have a different view. Personally, as a child, and maybe as a daughter-in-law, as a person-in-law, I really know my place in the family. And I want to clarify this. I've come into a family that has their own ways of thinking, their own ways of whatever. They had their own relationship with their brother, son, whatever it is. And it's not my place to disrupt the harmony that is there. My place is to come in and sort of like enhance whatever is there. So I have known my place. There have been situations where perhaps the disagreement or the tensions is with a sister-in-law, for example. In my culture, a sister-in-law is a tete, and a tete is someone I have to honor and respect. So I have come in knowing my place. So obviously, those who know me will know I'm very strong-minded and I'm very strong-willed. I will not be abused. I will not be abused. I will not be spoken to disrespectfully or any way. If that happens, then I'll probably voice it up. But if it's like small little things, small niggles, small tensions, I just let it slide. and we move on, because not everything is worth a battle, not everything
If
is
you
worth a
can
war.
clarify, how have you handled it in terms of with me?
I don't always come to you with everything in terms of every single. I mean, of course, we talk, we are open in our marriage, but I don't come to you with every single niggle and every single thing that I experience with a family member, because if I share something with you, I don't want you to go and share it back with the other person. But then also, because I don't want you to go and share it back with the other person, that also means you're only going to hear one side of the story, right? And in every tension, in every disagreement, there are two sides to the story. So I'm very conscious of, okay, maybe they've said this, I have felt this way, but maybe they have not necessarily meant it that way. So if I go to Tinashe and Tinashe is like this, Tinashe goes to them, all of a sudden it's something that is much bigger than it's supposed to be. So I feel like there's wisdom in understanding the situation and in understanding, in the same way in our marriage where I don't blow up everything out of proportion, it's the same thing.
I don't see why you're having to use that as an example. That's not what we're talking about.
I just meant that the way you maintain a relationship in marriage is not everything requires a balloon to be blown up, is the same way that I have handled. Where I feel like maybe something is gone out of control, I think I would just come to you and say, hey, this has gone out of control. How do you think we should manage this?
You're saying it nicely for the people who are watching, who are at home watching. So Wozani, in most cases, doesn't want me to know or find out if there is anything. So she shares a few bits and bobs. And to be fair, when I say most of the time, it's only been like a couple of times. But Wozani's train of thought is exactly what she said, that she doesn't want anything to be blown out of proportion. If it's not a big deal, then it's not a big deal. It's not whatnot. It's water under the bridge. For me, as a man, as a husband, as her protector, I sometimes struggle with that, because how you treat my wife is a reflection of how you treat me. So whatever you say to her, you have said it to me.
Can I share an example of something that you did when we were, I think, a year into marriage? After we had our son, I struggled so much with breastfeeding, and I struggled to the point where it was starting to affect me, right? So people would come and visit us and visit. So for a small time, we bottle fed him. People had to, and bottle fed him formula. When people came, they were making comments about why we were feeding him formula. And a lot of the comments were like, oh, but formula is not good for a baby. You should be breastfeeding, blah, blah, blah. And Tinashe knew how much it affected me because I had shared, we went through it together.
Oh, I was just intuitive. I'm a supportive husband.
That's what I mean, we went through it together. And I remember you, and there were a couple of times where you were saying to people, oh, no, this is what we're doing. But I remember a specific day when you literally, I can't say you erupted, but you were direct with a family member and you say, no, this is what we are doing. You know, you don't know the struggles we're going through. I don't appreciate you coming into the home and making comments that, and I remember thinking, oh my God, I wanted the floor to swallow me, literally. On that occasion. And then since then, it sort of felt like, oh, okay, I love that you protect our marriage. I love that you protect me. But then, sometimes I just feel like perhaps there are situations where I can just handle things and not let things,
The makeup of a man, is to be a protector, to be a cover, right? The Bible says the man has to cover his wife and his family. So if the man doesn't take that position and cover his family, I feel like there's something that is a little bit off. And that also includes covering your wife, sometimes against your own family.
What effects does that have on your marriage when your family does not like your spouse? Should they like your spouse? Does it help?
Ideally, in an ideal world, I think it would be great if your family accepts your spouse.
I like the word accepts. So they don't necessarily have to like them, but they have to accept.
Well, in accepting, you would also hope that they will like them. And again, the like part, it takes time. They have to grow to know the individual. There are a number of elements at play here, right? One, your partner has to be visible to the family. You can't just be in your own little cocoon.
Tinashe will be rocking up at his family alone.
Right? And the family doesn't see you. They don't then get to know you in order to like you. And if you're always absent, then there's something wrong. They either assume you don't like them and therefore they're not going to like you, or there's something wrong with you. You are judging us. You are looking down on us. So anyway, we don't like you. So you have to be visible, of course, within reason, to your spouse's family. If there are family events, family functions, go there, get involved, communicate with as many people outside, build relationships.
What if you're an introvert?
If you're an introvert, you know, introverts are not introverts to family members, right?
Yeah, you're right, actually.
You're an introvert to the outside world.
With your family.
With your family, you are comfortable, you are cool, you laugh, you whatnot. So if you build that relationship with the people because it's also now your family, right? If you want to have, in my opinion, an easy relationship, you need to ensure that you build a relationship with them. That way, if they strive between you and Tinashe, you can also go to them and they will be able to support you guys, right? You don't want to be in a situation where Tinashe is wrong. He is obviously, blatantly wrong. And you go to his family, to my family, and because my family doesn't like you, they take Tinashe's side. They're no longer building the relationship. They're no longer building the marriage, right? And because they just want to push you out.
I have to agree with you. People see it, some people see it differently, but honestly, I feel like family are your support system when it comes to marriage. They're your support system in the sense that they're the people you look to when you want to see examples of, how marriages are run, how children are raised, healthy examples. And I think for us, as an example, especially because we live in the UK, it's sort of like an isolated or a system of isolation in the UK. And it's important for children to grow up knowing their grandparents, their cousins, their whatever, and have that family dynamic, which I think is an important bit in raising children. But then, what then happens, or what do you do in situations where the family does not like the person? You've tried. It goes both ways. Person has to make an effort. But what if the family just feels like this is not the right fit for our son, for our brother, for whatever? He could have done better, or he could have picked someone different. What then do you do? Like, how do you navigate that?
So usually families don't just reach that conclusion, right? If everything is done right, they are accepting of whoever is brought home.
I like the word usually. Okay.
Yeah. This is from the get-go. As time goes and they get to know you, remember there are different phases. As time goes and they get to know you, if they don't like certain parts about your personality and everything else, that's a different ball game. Your attitude, blah, 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 that's a different ball game.
But in situations where they just never liked you and they wanted their son to marry someone else, it happens sometimes.
You can't say they never liked you. They just wanted their son to marry someone else because they don't know you.
And then that means they don't like you, Tinashe.
How does that mean? If I've never had jam, does it mean I don't like jam? I just don't. I get what you are saying to the person receiving, to the person who is.
But maybe what I'm not phrasing well is maybe they don't necessarily like you. They don't like, or they don't necessarily dislike you. They dislike the idea of you, in the sense that maybe you being present now just means that the dynamics of the family has changed. In other aspects, there are family expectations, there's history, there's cultural differences. As a mom, as an example, maybe I wanted my son to marry a Nigerian woman because I'm Nigerian. My son brings in a Zambian woman, and already that's different. So it's not necessarily about you as a person, but generally there are different elements that have come into play from their history, from, cultural differences, from maybe they disapprove of the way things are done and all of that. So not necessarily disliking you.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so if they don't like the idea of someone like you joining the family, then that's a tough one. First of all, you as the man or whoever is asking this individual to be part of the family, one, you should have known the type of person that your family wants, right? You should have understood what they wanted. Now, if then you are a strong-minded individual, you like, because sometimes you don't choose who you fall in love with, right? You like what you like. You love who you love of the opposite sex, and you decide to marry them, right? Now you have to be in a position to handle whatever that comes with. You now have to be in that. If your family doesn't like your wife for whatever reason, you have to be in a position to defend and stand and be the pillar for your wife and inform your family, this is who I chose, this is who I love. I'm of the notion that I married my wife for me, not for my family. We could be at a function. If I feel like my wife is doing too much work, I will go to her and say, hey, sit down. And I have done. Hey. I married my wife for me, not for the whole family. And of course, I get the notion that if, when someone gets married, they marry into the family, and it's true. But my wife is mine. She doesn't belong to the whole family. I'm off that school of thought that if you decide to marry whoever you marry, you therefore have to be the buffer between the two worlds, the bridge between the two worlds. And when the other world, especially from the family side, is trying to push this person out, it's up to you to stand your ground.
I also think that there's an element of you have to do all you can to integrate into the family. It's not nice to be isolated. So do your best to integrate into the family. If you have done everything that you can possibly do, and you can safely put hand on your heart, say, you know what, I tried, I did this, and they just won't accept it, then yeah, by all means. But I feel like if you haven't, just try. It's important for you to try and integrate as a couple into the family unit or the wider family unit so that it works. If it doesn't, then I absolutely agree with you. But there are also situations, Tinashe, where we're talking of, the family just doesn't, they don't like this one. When they come at a family function, there's a snide comment and whatever not, but life goes on. And then there are situations where the family is actually hostile and they're there to sabotage. They actually want these people to break up. They're doing everything within their power, which I think are two separate situations. How do you think couples can handle situations where the family is totally, we don't accept your spouse, we have never accepted them, we don't want anything to do with them, as best as we know, we would like you to break up? How would couples handle a situation like that?
You've done everything you can to make sure that you integrate, to try and get along with everyone, and they still do not like you for whatever reason, right? Beyond your control. If it's within your control, if you said something wrong, then apologize and whatever, try to rebuild that relationship or repair that damage. But if it's none of that and you've tried everything that you can, a decision now, a conversation now has to be had between you and your partner as to, okay, how do we handle this? How do we move this forward? Right? At the end of the day, that's his mother. I don't think there is, this is what you need to do. Boom, 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 boom. You have to understand that, but that's his family, right?
Or her family.
Or her family.
This video has been sponsored by House of Chi. House of Chi is a contemporary African fashion brand that is made in Africa and based in the UK, but it does ship worldwide. Please visit our website, www.houseofchiofficial.com. We are on Instagram, House of Chi Official, and on TikTok and Facebook as House of Chi. We really appreciate your support. By supporting us, you are helping us showcase the talent and craftsmanship that exists across Africa, and you are also helping us give back to the communities. Thank you. Bye. I think what's important, is when what you mentioned, sit down together, have a conversation around boundaries. Like, okay, your family are not supporting it, but we don't necessarily want you to excommunicate your family, but what boundaries can we put around this relationship that makes sure that we still maintain a healthy marriage, and then also you are not like completely excommunicated. And sometimes this boundary needs to be communicated with your...
Give an example.
So for example, if your family keeps on abusing your spouse, keeps on, doing things that want to keep, the environment hostile, to destroy your marriage, the boundaries would be, okay, I still love you as my mom, I still love you as my sister, but because I have to protect the sanctity of my marriage, the boundary I will put is, for as long as you're continuing to act and behave the way you're acting, you will not see us in your home. You will not see us in this family function. You will not see us here. So these are boundaries that you put in place. Now it's up to them to decide whether they are content with that boundaried relationship where they are not seeing you or their grandchildren or their whatever. And if they are not content, then they need to make the necessary adjustments to make sure that it works. Now, we do experience situations where people then become a bit cowardly in that they cannot confront the other side, but they still want their marriage.
It's not cowardly per se. Sometimes you just can't. You can't go bulldozing to your father-in-law and say...
Oh, not father-in-law, to your parents. I would never expect someone to...
I think that's the other thing, right? If there is strife, if Wozani's family doesn't like me or if whatnot, I cannot go and say certain things to Wozani's family. She has to go. And vice versa. I have to go to my family and stand up for my wife. Because they are my family. I understand them better. And I can communicate to them. And once they see my stance, in most cases, I genuinely believe that they are able to adapt, to change. But in most cases, people don't have the backbone.
And this is why situations become toxic for longer periods, because you don't have the backbone to set the boundaries with your family. So the family continue to do whatever they want with your marriage. They continue to wreak havoc. But the minute you are able to set boundaries and say, listen, this is where we stand, you take it, either you take us as we are or you don't. But then people don't often have the backbone that you mentioned to do that. Or maybe they're afraid that I'll push my family, or they're afraid that maybe I'm making them having to choose. But for as long as you don't do that, that relationship will continue to work as it is. And I think what Tinashe mentioned is important about being the protector. Like, you need to protect not only your spouse, but the sanctity of your marriage. You have a responsibility to protect it. Now, if you let people wreak havoc in your marriage, you've literally left it to the dogs, and anything can happen. And there have been marriages that have been destroyed by, dysfunctional family dynamics. So if you're going to protect your marriage, then you need to set those boundaries and make sure they work. And I think one other thing, for me personally anyway, because I love you, I could never experience a world where I put you in the middle and I make you choose, and I could not. But we just need to be careful in terms of like making sure that while I'm also trying to protect you from doing that, I'm not destroying what God has built, because the Bible says what God has put together, let no man put asunder. That includes the family, and that includes us, because we can put it asunder as well. So I think that's as far as it goes when it comes to that.
The Bible does say that, a man shall leave his mother and father's house and cleave to his wife, right? So that means you chose this person. Now, if someone chose for you, you don't have to have a backbone. But if you chose that person for yourself, you made that decision, and you then have to take your position to be the protector, to cover not only that individual, but also your marriage. Your marriage, and you have to stand for your marriage. Do not allow other people to separate you guys, to bring, because if your family doesn't like your spouse, I guarantee you guys will have so many arguments as a result of that. There will be stuff that will spill over, things that were just said in jest at a family function, and you will try to defend and whatnot. Set boundaries. Have a backbone. You are a man. One thing which was only mentioned, which I wanted to touch on, and it's not really part of today's topic, but I think it's very important for you guys to understand about the dynamic of our relationships. We are what you would say, we very much believe in a traditional marriage, right? And that essentially means that the husband and the wife, we very much believe that the husband is the head of the household. That doesn't mean that all the decisions are on him. That doesn't mean that he is the alpha and the omega. Everything rises and sets with him. No, we very much believe in submission. That means the wife submits. That means the children submit. That also means the husband submits.
Submits
right?
to what?
The wife submits to the husband. The children submit to the parents. The husband submits first of all to God, and also to the sanctity of marriage, right? Of us as a family. I'm submitted. I'm subject to this. I'm not above this. Every decision that we make it together. Sometimes we will not see eye to eye, right? But we are still, once a decision is made,
we are all submitting to that decision.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that. You elaborated that quite well.
Oh,
and having said what you said, as Tinashe being the head of this house and the head of this family, that means there cannot be anyone else that can be the head.
Yes.
It cannot be. Tinashe's father has said, Tinashe, you need to do this. Because then Tinashe is no longer the head of our household. There's another entity that's the head of, and then already you have broken and destroyed the biblical thingy structure that God created for family. That includes children, guys, because children can sometimes divide families. We sometimes think, oh, it's the in-laws, whatever. Children can divide family. Children are so clever. Children are so intelligent. You know, my 6-year-old at the grand old age of 6 knows that I can go to Daddy and ask for this and he'll say yes. I can go to Mommy and ask for this and he'll say no. He's mastered that. And then sometimes, if we're not really careful, we can also I feel like I've deviated from the topic, but if we're not careful, we can also let children divide us in our marriages. We have to be united. We are one. It's us against
the children. Get them kids.
It's us against the children. It's us, not against, but it's us standing, and then we are viewing the world as one, and that includes children as well. So when you're starting to have arguments and disagreements because children, I know even in blended families, this can be a difficult thing, but even in families that are not blended, we have to be one. We have to be united in the way we parent, in the way our children talk to us. I like that. I remember the very first time Tinashe said to our son, "Don't speak to my wife like that." I was like, oh, okay, nice. Someone's defending me. So it's not always against like family. You know, even the men can teach children how to respect their mothers. The women can teach children how to respect their fathers. We've unpacked a lot today, Tinashe. We've really unpacked a lot. And it's a discussion that cannot be had in, you know,
in one sitting.
Yeah, in one sitting. But do bring in, if you have any questions or if there's anything you disagree with, if you feel like, no, your family, your foundation, where you were born comes first, do share. Would love to hear your thoughts. If there's anything you think we didn't touch on or elaborate on, comment as well. And we can touch it on another day. So Tinashe, marriage sucks if?
Marriage sucks if the people you inherited are affecting your relationship with the people you chose. Listen,
I didn't choose you. I inherited you. This is who I chose.
Exactly. So yeah, marriage sucks for you if?
Marriage sucks if you do not set boundaries that protect your marriage against anything, against family, against children, against the world. If you don't set healthy boundaries, then marriage will suck. And listen, guys, we've been the cheaters, like Tinashe says.
You've been the people.
You've been you, and it's good to see you. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. This video has been sponsored by House of Chi. House of Chi is a contemporary African fashion brand that is made in Africa and based in the UK, but it does ship worldwide. Please visit our website, www.houseofchiofficial.com. We are on Instagram, House of Chi Official, and on TikTok and Facebook as House of Chi. We really appreciate your support. By supporting us, you are helping us showcase the talent and craftsmanship that exists across Africa, and you are also helping us give back to the communities. Thank you. Bye.